Rob?
Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and we are continuing on with my Farewell Mattel series of reviews. These are figures I've had over a year and I have yet to review them. A lot of these I had planned on reviewing and I just didn't get around to it for whatever reason. Well, because there was something else that was currently new that was coming out. So I thought it was nice with Damien coming out that I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a nice long stretch of Mattel DC Universe classic type of figure reviews from Mattel. So as you could tell here, we're looking at Wave 20, originally released in 2011. 2012, depending on maybe the store that you were shopping at the time. I actually picked this up in December of, let's see, 2013. So it would be a year ago from, you know, last December that I picked this up, and picked up a couple others at the time. So I'm really happy to have picked this guy up, and was excited to have got him. I got him at a discounted price. The sticker I've long since taken off. I think these were originally going for anywhere between $16 to $19, depending on the stores that you were purchasing them at. I picked up Sinestro here at Meijer. That's M-E-I-J-E-R. It's kind of like a Walmart. It's basically a Walmart, only red. Walmart has blue. Well, this Meijer store is red. There's just, and it's funny, Walmart and Meijer are almost side by side with another store in between them. But anyway, and Meijer always kind of seemed to be getting their figures a lot later than other places. So by the time Wave 20 was out, everybody else had already had them for almost a year. And people weren't buying them, so the prices were dropping down. And normally I didn't pick up a figure I didn't normally duplicate a figure that I already had. I already had a Sinestro from the Toys R Us exclusive, the Green Lantern Sinestro 2-pack, but that Sinestro was kind of out of scale. And once Sinestro was back in his Sinestro core costume, I thought, you know, that would look really good next to the Hal Jordan. So I kind of had my eye on this, and from the discounted price, I ended up paying $7 for this. So I thought that was a steal, and I thought, okay, that'll be really pretty good to be able to pick up a DC Universe Classics figure, since we were close to the very end of the run anyway. So we'll take a closer look at the package here. If I can reach it, I'm kind of a little farther away from the camera than I normally am. The Wave 20 figure, this would be the Necron Wave, and I think the head, yep, the Collect and Connect piece figure includes the head. I'm trying to remember. I think I have somebody else from this wave. I'll find out here in a second. It's Green Arrow. So, wow, it's been so long. The other figures in this wave are Hawk, Dove, Red Arrow, Green Arrow, Sinestro, White Lantern Flash, and Reverse Flash. And now with the Flash TV series being out, I thought, oh, I don't need Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom or, you know, whomever. So I kind of passed on him. I saw him there also for $7 a year ago, almost 2 now, I guess, depending how you want to count it. So I passed on him. Now I kind of wish I would have picked him up. That would have been nice to have a Flash Rogues villain to have, since I don't think I actually have any in my collection. Then put them all together, you get the Collect and Connect Necron. You want to watch a funny series of reviews. Watch Automatica's reviews as she was trying to purchase Mary Batson. I forget what wave that figure was from Kmart, and they kept sending her Wave 20 figures. I mean, Mary was farther down the line, and Wave 20 was out at the time, so they kept sending her these figures. And they kept letting her keep them. So she would buy one and get a replacement figure free for, you know, the one that they didn't send her, and then that one would be another figure. So if you go back all through her channel, it's really kind of funny, as she's really hoping to get a Mary Marvel figure, and she keeps getting Wave 20 figures. So she completed this wave rather quickly, so it's kind of funny. It's been a while since I've reviewed DC Universe Classics figure up until the last few that you've seen. So we'll go through the read-up here. Sinestro was chosen to patrol Sector 1417 as a Green Lantern, but instead he ruled Korg with an emerald fist. Eventually, the Kogorians freed themselves and exposed Sinestro's abuse of power. The Guardians of the Universe stripped Sinestro of his mantle and power ring, subsequently banishing him to the antimatter universe of Korg. Armed with a yellow power ring and allied with the Kogorians, that's a hard word to say, Sinestro started his own army known as the Sinestro Corps. Statistics: first appearance, Green Lantern, second series, number 7, real name Sinestro. Occupation, I always like these, supervillain, intergalactic criminal. So you could put that on your job application if you are Sinestro. Base of operation, formerly Krogar, I think I mispronounced that earlier. Currently the antimatter universe Cord. Special abilities, yellow power ring projects fear to create yellow powered constructs. It's a powerful and deadly weapon in direct opposition to Green Lantern's power ring. And I do want to point out that there are no onion babies. You can't have 0 to 3 onion babies. So if you have 4 onion babies, then you can play with this figure. But if you have 0 or 3 onion babies, don't even bother opening this up. So I just wanted to, it says warning small parts, but it's really for small onion babies. But anyway, we will get Sinestro Wave 20. Wow. Wave 20 Sinestro DC Universe Classics figure out of package. And I've been waiting almost 2 years to get this guy out of package. So let's shut up, Rob, and let's get to it. All right, we've got Sinestro out of package in his Sinestro Corps outfit. And I really like this version of Sinestro better than the classic version of Sinestro that I have. This is more of the modern take on Sinestro, kind of right before the New 52 when he was in his Corps outfit. I just think it makes more sense for Sinestro, being that he has an outfit like the rest of the Lanterns do. So I think it was really cool that they gave the Sinestro Corps an outfit or a costume to wear. Again, I think I'm probably going to say this throughout the review for the series. As much as I've been collecting DC collectibles almost exclusively because Mattel really isn't putting out much, and I really haven't bought anything other than DC Universe, DC collectibles in a while, it's kind of nice to do something else for a change. And this is kind of where my channel started, was buying DC Universe Classics figures. So it's kind of like coming home. And I tell you what, I've dropped this lantern like 1,000,000 times. But, you know, I know that there are some things about the figures that we've been saying for a while. Oh, it's the same body for this, same body for that. And I've said it long on my channel that these are the more of the figures that you play with, that you could take out in the sandbox, and the DC collectibles are the more of these statuesque figures, and yes, they have articulation, but there was something kind of special about this DC Universe Classics line. I see a lot of people on Facebook just selling off their collections, and I go, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could part with these figures that I've tried to track down, and I've got them displayed. I know sometimes times are tough for people, and then I see some people sell their collection, and they turn right around and they buy them again, and they sell them, and they buy them again. I'm somebody, I'm really going to have to be destitute to be selling my figures. There are still some on a list that I have that I would like to pick up, so I'm not going to say that after this batch you'll never see another DC Universe Classics figure. You might, but it's going to have to be somebody on my list, and going to have to be affordable, because some of these on eBay are still going for you know, 20, 30 bucks. I mean, sometimes they're 15, 12, you know, 5. Depends who they are, but some of them are a little bit more expensive. So anyway, it's just really kind of cool to be looking at some DC Universe Classics figures again. Let's get a little bit into the face. I like Sinestro's face. I've always thought that out of the couple figures that there are of Sinestro, they really captured his face very, very well. And it was also a face that, okay, they use this Superman type of face and they will just tweak it a little bit, that this is a complete sculpt from chin to widow's peak. And that was good that they did that. I think they should have done that more often than what they did. But when you're mass producing figures, I get why maybe sometimes you're cutting corners. But I thought he just looks really good, and I just like this sinister look that they gave him. I thought it was done really well. Sometimes Mattel will get the face spot on, and then other times my camera gets really, really bright. Wow, I didn't change anything. So we have an overabundance of light right now, which makes me very happy. Maybe time for some new lights. But then other times that the figure would have a really, really ugly face. Sometimes I can overlook some paint flaws, but the face, I've heard Anthony say recently, the face is what you really want. You want him to have a good look on the face, and sometimes that's really a detractor if the face is really bad. But I think they captured the face very well. I'm not really familiar with the Sinestro core outfit very well for Sinestro. They gave him this sculpted collar. It almost looks like oh, we're going to make this cape that goes on, and they just cut everything else but this little collar. Not that he had a cape, but I hope that you know what I mean. It's a separate sculpted on piece, so evidently he must have had a collar. I was trying to find the box, but I have it out of reach, so I may have to go find some comic book art. I'm sure that it's there because DC Universe Classics was particular about some of the things that they did, that they tried to make them as accurate looking as possible. But I just didn't notice it in package before, or other reviews that I watched. Maybe nobody pointed it out, or if they did, it wasn't something I was paying attention to. But I think it looks pretty decent on here, and it matches the yellow pretty good. Sometimes the paint would be a little off, or sometimes a lot off, like, oh, this red around the collar is completely different than the red that's on the rest of the figure, or, you know, whatever color it might be. The Sinestro core symbol looks very good, nice and clean. And that was too something else I've heard Stu say, ODC, and a bunch of other people, Chapman Films, that, you know, you want your logo on the character to look nice and crisp, and he's got two of them. He's got one on his armband here as well. But just a nice looking figure, and just some extra sculpting lines in the pants, or the, you know, tights, or whatever, the part of the costume. You see those little ridges in here. I don't know of any other DC Universe Classics figure having those. I don't know if the other Lantern figures have them, being that the Sinestro core Lantern figures have them, but that's a nice little touch. So every once in a while, DC Universe Classics will really surprise us. And those etchings go clear down to his boots too. So maybe it's a manufacturing defect on mine. Hopefully not. Hopefully those are meant to be there, because I really kind of like them. So, see, I've got a little bit of flaring out here at my ankle joint. But let's zoom out the other way, Rob. Is it just me? Does he have a belly button? I think Sinestro, they gave him a belly button, or maybe that's just an imperfection in the paint that just happens to be there, but I just noticed that. Nice belly button, Sinestro. So let's take a look at the articulation on this bad boy. His head goes in a full 360. Not much articulation up. As you can see, he can touch his collar, like, oh, it's really cold in here. Oh, can't look up, but can look down. So maybe he can look down at somebody like, I will break you, Jordan. So left to the right. There's up, so it must have been, yeah, but it's a little stuck. There it is. It's got a little bit of a catch. Hopefully I'm not breaking it. So we can look up. So I had a little bit of a catch in there, like almost it slides on the ball. Really odd. So yes, he can look up. So that makes me a little bit happier. His arms are on the standard DC Universe Classics ball socket. I mentioned, I think, on Phantom Stranger, that the little disc in here, when you move the arm down, that disc stayed up. I don't believe that was supposed to, maybe just how the Phantom Stranger was made. But anyway, it does turn at the bicep. Single bend at the elbow. Turns at the wrist. I thought he turned at the gauntlet, but apparently not. or gauntlet or wrist, whatever, wristband. No swivel there. And you can see, zoom in, Robbie. There's his ring, which is basically a blob of paint, but it does look like it's raised up a little bit. You can see a little bit of overpaint there. There was no symbol there, but it is raised up off of his fist, so that's pretty cool. There we go. I'll back out, Rob. It does have a overextended ab crunch to the back, a decent forward. Does, oh, frozen there. It's been in the box for almost 2 years. Does turn at the waist. T-jointed hips can I think this is the most hyper-extended I've had any DC Universe Classics figure go. Sinestro can do of a splits above 90 degrees. That has got to hurt to pee in the morning. The legs go forward and back. Turns above the thigh, above the knee, single bend at the knee, and a pivot at the foot. So I kind of made myself laugh and got off track there. It does come with one accessory that you saw there. It comes with the lantern. Let's get him to stand. So it comes with this lantern, which I have two. Actually, this is the first completed yellow lantern that I have. The other one was the Toys R Us Green Lantern and Sinestro 2-pack, where the lantern is split half green, half yellow. So it's nice to have a complete yellow lantern. So maybe I can actually paint that other lantern completely green. I do have Kyle Rayner's lantern, and I have the Movie Masters Green Lantern. The other accessory that Sinestro comes with is the head of Necron. Not really an accessory. I only have the arm. I don't remember which arm I have. Whichever arm comes with Green Arrow, that's the arm I have, and now the head of Necron. There's no way I'm going to obviously be able to buy all of the pieces or all the figures from this wave and to be able to collect Necron. So I'll say it here: if you were out there purchasing DC Universe Classics figures for Wave 20 and you did not get the arm that came with Green Arrow or the head that came with Sinestro here, let me know. I'm not going to charge anything. I will just mail it to you free of charge, because this is just going to go in my DC Universe Classics Collect and Connect bin of all the pieces that I have. And rather than try and make a buck off somebody, I would rather just help somebody complete their collection. So let me know. It's kind of cool that the other Sinestro figure that I have did come with these extra constructs that you can put on Sinestro. So I believe his arms are probably almost exactly the same. So they do fit on there very well, and I always thought they were cool that some of these constructs actually worked. So not that you can use a real wrench, but I think he looks even cooler now being able to have the proper yellow construct on the Sinestro core Sinestro figure. So what I'd like to do is I will bring up the other Sinestro figure that I have from the 2-pack, and we'll take a look at the two together. So here is the other one, the other Sinestro that I have from the 2-pack with the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. And it's basically a repaint, so it's kind of surprising that I didn't remember this collar, because there's the collar again. Gauntlets are the same markings that I was talking about in the figure are here. Let's get some extra light down here. There you can see the ribbing markings I was talking about. Like, oh, that's really kind of cool. There is the collar. So it's basically just a repaint. The belt is the only thing that is tooled a little bit differently. Like, they cut out this middle part and they put an extra set of ribs around the figure. Still really cool. Yeah, this is more of the classic version of Sinestro, or as I like to think of him, the Superpowers or Challenge of the Super Friends Sinestro. Both figures are the same height. This one appears to be just a little bit taller. I don't know if because I have him hunched, but I was having problems with this Sinestro being very loose in the abs, and he was wanting to topple over in my display stand. If after he hunched over, he would kind of get up on his tiptoes and then kind of topple some other figures over. Normally, I don't end up buying two of the same figures unless it's part of the Batman family. Then I would kind of double up here or there. But I just liked the look of this Sinestro better than I did this one. Even though this is the classic version, I get and I understand that. I liked him in this outfit, so I could pair him with Green Lantern, and they would actually, I think, work a little bit better. And here's the 2-pack Green Lantern. Now, I really do like this bright metallic paint. I kind of wish I would have got the All-Star Green Lantern as well. I did see him from time to time. The only thing that's different about that one, it looks like it's supposed to be, was probably the most New 52-ish, and before we got a proper New 52 kind of line from the Unlimited line, where the green stops here and basically the part of the trunks is black, where you have this little like green V, and then the eyes are painted in white. You can actually see the eyeballs in this Green Lantern. But I talked myself out of it. I thought, yeah, this is close enough. But the two look very good together. Sinestro is taller than Hal Jordan. I don't know if that's entirely true as far as comic-wise, or if they got their proportions right, but I think Sinestro is supposed to be a little bit taller. I know some other Sinestro figures were a little smaller than they should have been, but I think these two are going to look great on my shelf. And again, it's kind of cool doing some DC Universe Classics figures again. Alright, final thoughts on this guy. This is kind of the point where I'd be like, I think this is a good figure to go out and get, and hopefully you can find him in the stores. That's not going to happen. Your best bet's going to be going to eBay and all those type of things. So I haven't been on eBay in a while to look for DC Universe Classics figures, let alone this figure, so I really am not sure how much he's going for, if this is somebody you were thinking about getting and just didn't get around to it. I know there's a lot of people on Facebook that are selling off parts of their DC Universe Classics collection, and like I said, these are figures that, you know, I worked hard to try and track down and spent money to get them, that I liked them well enough in the beginning to get them. I would have a hard time selling them now. I'm happy to have this figure in my collection. I like him better in the Sinestro Corps outfit. Again, it's cool that I have the 2-pack version of Sinestro in his classic outfit, but I'm not going to have two Sinestros on my shelf, so I'm going to put the classic one in a box, and maybe that's why some people are selling him, going, well, you know, I've got two now, so I only need the one. But again, I don't think I'm going to be parting with him anytime soon, but a very cool figure to have in my collection, and one that I had been wanting ever since I saw that when he originally came out. And the box is marked 2011. Can you believe that? Wave 20 came out in 2011. So anyway, today we've been taking a look at DC Universe Classics Wave 20 Sinestro Corps figure, the Necron Wave. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue, signing off saying we will see you guys next time. And the other accessory that Sinestro comes with is the head. Oh, man, I can't hold on to anything. Oh, crap. Alright, we're back. Son of a gun. Alright, the other... Fart, what the heck am I saying?